And it can vary graduate to graduate, and also state by state as well. So there's some graduates who live and dream to travel Australia, travel the world, and that sort of thing, and that's fine. And then there's the others who want to stick in their hometown, which is also okay. So we do try and accommodate both sorts there. So we do assess on a case-by-case basis. Again, when we're putting together that career plan at the start of your development, we might identify that there's a certain project in a certain location that might be beneficial for yourself, or you might have a particular interest in a certain area. So we can definitely look at those things as well. It's something that we do at the moment. Our graduates have the ability to do different states if that's what they like.
But we don't force people to relocate if that doesn't suit them. You definitely have a really big say in that, because that's about your career development plan.
Absolutely.
I read this one a few minutes ago, and I've been trying to think of what one thing I should mention. As I said, I got to walk on a Navy ship with a whole lot of Navy people walking around, different contractors and stuff, working on things and opening stuff up and so forth. That was really cool. And that happened sort of 2 or 3 weeks into me starting working at BAE. So that was a really cool way to just get thrown in the deep end, basically. But I think the one I'd like to focus on is another instance of me getting thrown in the deep end again, which was during my second rotation. This is the one that was in Richmond on Nulka. We were in a testing phase. So understandably, everything that goes installed onto a ship or whatever it is needs to be tested pretty rigorously. It has to pass a whole lot of different metrics. A couple of those include vibration and thermal testing, so both quite mechanical requirements. I just because of scheduling, I was the only engineer available to assist with some of this testing. So I got sent to the Edinburgh Parks office, which is in South Australia, for a week of vibration and thermal testing, or assisting with that with some other people who sort of knew a bit more about what was going on. But I was the subject matter expert for the box of stuff that we were, but I'm not allowed to say what it is, for the box of stuff that we were testing. And there were a whole lot of issues that came up every single day. And I was on the phone back to various people in Richmond and trying to work out how to plug this thing in and why this wasn't working and whatever. Like everything, you always run into issues. And the reason I bring it up as a rewarding thing is because I guess I find reward in overcoming challenges. And actually the biggest challenge was we had a 5-day schedule that had to be compressed to 4 days because I had to come back to Melbourne a day early for a personal matter. And so it really ended up being touch and go for a while as to whether I was even going to get my plane home on this stuff. But I got it done. Everyone seemed pretty happy with how it all turned out. And having seen that item progress through the rest of the design process and now is actually installed onto a ship, I can look at that now and go, hey, that was not all me, but some of it was me. And as a graduate, I think that's something that not something you don't see too often, but something you might not necessarily assume happens in a graduate program. You might not think that you are given much responsibility, but I was really given a lot of responsibility. You don't feel like you're sort of overwhelmed. You've definitely got a big support network that help you. You have a mentor and your managers and all of that. But you definitely get a chance to take ownership, and I found that in every role I've had, there's a chance for you to spread your wings to a degree. So that's my answer.
Good question. So that's primarily where a lot of our aerospace engineers belong from memory. I believe there's some in Victoria as well, at Richmond, at the office there. Is there any other locations, Kathy or Ed?
We do actually have, so aerospace is interesting because you often can work equally as a mechanical engineer. So we do actually have people who are aerospace engineers, sometimes working in aerospace projects, or also then working as a mechanical engineer, and you will find those roles across the organisation. But certainly Brenna is right. Well, obviously we do a lot of aerospace work out of New South Wales, out of Newcastle, but quite a few aerospace engineers in weapon systems. So where Ed was mentioning the Nulka decoy, that's a really cool piece of kit. If you actually Google that on YouTube, BAE Systems Nulka, there's a fascinating clip that will actually show you how it works in an unclassified way. And a lot of aerospace engineers work in that project. So lots of opportunity.
That's a really great question. We definitely do. So from day one, you're a permanent full-time employee with us. We put you through the 2-year graduate program. And at the end, we've been working with you obviously through that 2 years to kind of work out, you know, where you're wanting to go with your career. And then you are put into a, you know, a permanent role afterwards.